Hi, my name is Daniel Martinez. Today, I'm going to be talking about why urban green spaces matter more than people realize, using my experience at the Syngent Friendship Garden in Fresno, for example. Most people see gardens, parks, or natural areas as places to relax or take pictures, but they actually do much more than that. These spaces can improve mental health, reduce stress, connect people with nature, and influence how people act and interact with others. My theme for this interpretive talk is that urban green spaces quietly improve people's lives in many ways us don't notice. As college students living in busy cities, most of us spend a huge time indoors. We're constantly looking at our screens and sitting inside classrooms, driving places, working jobs, or stressing about assignments and responsibilities. It became normal to move too quickly through life without slowing down. Because of that, places like the Shinsen Friendship Garden became more important than people realized. When I visited the garden, one of the things I first noticed was how different the environment felt compared to the rest of the city. Even though traffic and noise were nearby, the garden felt calm and away from all that. There were trees, bridges, rocks, and carefully designed pathways that naturally caused people to slow down as they walked through the area. What stood out to me was how people behaved differently inside the garden. People spoke more quietly. Families slowed down and actually looked instead of rushing. Some people sat near the water just relaxing or thinking. No one was forced to act calmer, but the environment itself encouraged it naturally. This connects to one of the biggest interpretations, which is that people can reveal meaning instead of giving information. The garden is just not one collection of plants and decorations. It represents balance, peace, reflection, and relationship between humans and nature. Without interpretation, many people might just walk through the garden and only notice it looks nice. But if you really think about it deeper, you start realizing the purpose behind the design and why these environments matter emotionally and mentally. Another thing I found interesting is how nature can affect stress levels without people even realize it. Many studies have shown that spending time in these green spaces can lower anxiety, improve focus, and help mental health. This is why this is important because today, people's stress and burnout are extremely common, especially among students and working adults. Personally, I noticed at spending that time at the garden, I felt more relaxed, mentally clear before I arrived. I think a lot of people underestimate how important that feeling is because we're so used to constantly being busy. Places like this create opportunities for people to slow down and reconnect with the surroundings. The Shinzer Friendship Garden also helped develop a stronger connection to nature itself. In cities, it's easy to feel disconnected from the environment because everything becomes so concrete, buildings and roads. Green spaces remind people that nature itself is part of daily life, even in urban areas. This matters environmentally too. When people build emotional connections to nature, they are most likely to start caring and protect about it. Some people who appreciate gardens, trees, clean water, and wildlife is mostly likely to support conversation and environmental stewardship in the future. Interpretation helps create that connection because it encourages people to think about the meaning instead of the facts. This idea connects strongly to the Tidland's principles of interpretation. One of his principles says that interpretation should relate to the personality or experience of the audience. I think this topic relates to almost everyone because nearly everyone experiences stress, mental exhaustion, disconnection from nature at one point. Another principle says interpretation should provoke thought instead of simply instructing people. The garden provokes people to think about balance, peace, and humanity's relationship with nature without directly telling them what to think. I also think storytelling is an important piece of interpretation. Facts alone do not usually create emotional connections. For example, if I only listed a species of plants in the garden, most people probably will not remember from this talk. But talking about the environment changes humans' behavior and emotions make the experience more meaningful and memorable. Another thing that makes places like this is accessibility. Not everyone has the opportunity to visit national parks or travel long distances in nature. Urban green spaces allows people to experience some nature of emotional and environmental benefits of nature close to where they live. Even a short visit can positively affect someone's mood or perspective. Something else I noticed while visiting that many people were taking photos, sitting quietly, or simply just observing their surroundings. In everyday life, people usually are distracted or focused on the next task they have to complete. The garden created an environment where people can be more present and aware of this moment. I think that's overall my experience at the Shenzhen Friendship Garden changed how I view nature spaces. Before, I mostly thought of parks and gardens as recreational areas, Now I see them as important places that support mental health, environmental awareness, and community connection. Interpretation helps reveal these deeper meanings and encourage people to care about more about the world around them. In conclusion, urban green spaces are more important than many people realize. They provide emotional, environmental, and social benefits that quietly improve people's quality of life every day. Places like the Central Friendship Garden remind us that humans are deeply connected to nature, even in busy urban environments. Through interpretation, people are able to move beyond simply seeing nature and begin understanding why it matters. Thank you.